Hello, everybody. My name is Hell Kaiser, and welcome back to DMC5. We're on our first mission as V, and now you get to see, honestly, what's become one of my favorite characters to play as. And it was really a shocker for me. I'll let the cutscene play, then I'll talk a little more.
One can only hope. But for now, we have a more pressing engagement.
Okay, so that's pretty brief right there. Now I'll get to show you a little bit about we'll talk about the character a little bit more. V is his name, as you could have seen, and so far, if you can't figure out what V stands for, then either you are kind of obtuse, or let me put it this way: when I've seen people like live stream the game and act like, "Oh, what does V stand for?" and then occasionally get some people who figure it out. But, you know, it seems like it's pretty on the nose about his character, let's put it that way. This game has come out 4 years ago at this point. 2018 is when it launched. It is August of 2021 now. And it's been released on all platforms except for Xbox Series X right now. So, if you don't want spoilers, go play the game yourself. But I'm pretty sure at this point, pretty much everybody knows who he is. Literally, if you have played the Virgil mode, you've seen spoilers, again, to his true identity of his name. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you, if you don't want to know, skip right here just to about 30 seconds, because I won't mention it again. Okay, everybody should be gone. He is Virgil. He is part of Virgil. Urizen is one half, and V is the other. He split himself in two. And honestly, I think it's one of the best incarnations of the character. You get to see this slow-moving necromancer-type enemy, and I'm not the first person to say that. The reason I say necromancer is, you know, like a conjurer type, you know, I guess is, you know, like when you play Diablo 2 and you summon the skeletons, best comparison I can see. You get 3 familiars, which are all bosses from Devil May Cry 1. The Panther, which was the boss we fought several times in Devil May Cry 1, one right after the Nilo Angelo fight. And Griffin, of course, is Flockoff Featherface. And then Nightmare is that enemy that sucks you in and makes you do the boss rush, essentially. And I thought that was really cool. Phantom is about the only main one I'd say was missing, but they do explain that in the comic from what I understand. And honestly, I really enjoy playing as him. His style is one of those things where you look at it on paper and you think there's no way that's going to be fun. But then you play it and you're like, oh my lord, that actually was a genius idea. I honestly hope that at some point that another developer, or maybe even Capcom, if we get to see him in Devil May Cry 6, I don't know, but if we do, maybe, just maybe, somebody will make a game with combat. Like, honestly, I've heard some people compare it to like Pokemon, and maybe the Arcus game looks like it, but I don't think it's going to be that much different. Ultimately, I'd like to see a game, though, just like how the Leviathan axe, you know, the recall thing it did in God of War. I'd love to see a mechanic like V's battle style into another game, because it is so fun to play as. Maybe let you switch between these different types of familiars, though, and, you know, maybe add like another one to another button or something, you know, just 4 or 5 at once, maybe. I would really enjoy that, because I really, really enjoy playing as the character. Like I said, he's a lot of fun to play. Now, he's the character that uses the Devil Trigger. You use it to summon Nightmare, but I'm going to hold off on getting purple orbs for now. I'd rather just save up for skills. Oh, and here, I might as well show you so that you know what they are real quick. Like I said, no spoiler skills here. There's not really any spoiler skills for V anyway. Devil Trigger reduces slower with Trigger Heart. Promotion so I can climb up on Nightmare. Faster running. When all those abilities are pretty basic. There's only one ability for his cane, Royal Fork, which lets you kill all downed enemies at once, which is really useful. Griffin is like your gun substitute, but he's a lot more than that. That's why I like him. He's really powerful. Summons like Chain Lightning and big shockwaves of lightning, and V's of lightning, like he did in Devil May Cry 1 and 2. Then you have Vim, which means he revives a little quicker, because he can be killed temporarily, so he goes in like a spherical state, and so can Panther, or Shadow, I should say. And then there's a Vigor one, which means they have a little bit more damage skills. So I've got pretty much all their main abilities, almost 70%. Nightmare only ever has 2 skills. I really want to save up for Domination, because it's literally just the most powerful move that V has. It's a massive freaking laser that dominates. So let's get into it.
We've a minor errand before we reach Urizen.
Okay, now I'll show you some of his abilities real quick. Like I said, he shoots.
I need you.
He attacks with the Panther, but he does none of the actual attacking, and your movement skills determine like some of the combos. And then you can finish off enemies. Because these familiars are familiars, they're not like full devils. They're not exactly their old selves from DMC 1. They can't kill enemies, so he has to stab them with his... Some people call it a sword cane. It's just a regular cane, but with a pointy end. See, it's a blunt end, too. It's not even a sharp end. To finish them off. And that's how you fight. And so you have to go, like, holding backwards to do round robin and stuff like that. And forward. And, like, forward and backwards. So it's a unique fighting style of moving yourself back and forth. And then you have this book of poetry.
The angel that presided on my birth.
And that in battle will increase your devil trigger.
Go love without the help of anything on earth.
But it doesn't fill it up outside of combat. So that's something to keep note of. And that's your skills. It's very simple on the surface, but it works extremely well. It's one of those things that once you learn it, I enjoyed playing through Bloody Palace with V.
You are fragile at the moment. Wouldn't take much to wipe you out in a sticky situation. I'm just saying that running away is okay. It's always okay to run away if you're not up for it.
He who desires but act not breeds pestilence.
I never really read William Blake before V introduced me, and some of them are kind of interesting. He wrote a lot about anti-imperialism and stuff like that. I was always, like I said, a Poe fan. See, you just go up and stab them to death with your cane, while they can still fight while you're killing enemies, which is really cool. There we go. And you can leap 2 enemies too, so you can really close the gap really well. And he's extremely easy to get high combos with. They made it that way. They made him easier to get high combos with. They did that same thing with Nero. So you'll see me get Smoking Sexy Style in this level. I did it without any of his upgrades. It's that easy. Once you summon Nightmare, you're almost guaranteed to get it. Okay, now there's no player playing this level like there was when I played. See, the level where we jump from the rooftops is what's being played. See, so that's just an AI this time. They do a good job of making it use skills and stuff a little bit more like a player, but it's, you know, at first, I don't think a player would taunt from that far back. But it is pretty good. Air hike and stuff like that, I like that. They do a good job with stuff like that. I'll give them credit, because even though it's a horribly underutilized mechanic, it still does look cool. Also, I like how V's speed is not just like him running. He summons Shadow, and see he rides on him, which is that, and it does a little damage, which is kind of cool. Like I said, they did so much with this character, and you would think like, because if you stuck around for the spoiler, with the kind of character that he is designed to be, that he would have been very boring, but they did a lot with him. Like, they just went nuts with his design. Like I said, I love the tattoos and how faded they look. I wish Griffin would go away, but see, when he summons one, they all stay, but they start to get a little bit more faded. And then when you summon two, they get even more faded. But even when they're fully out there, they look good. They're not overly stated like some of them. And I'll show you something later that if you heard the spoiler, you'll get what I'm getting at here. Okay, I'll show you now. What does that remind you of? Think about that for a minute. And think about what other character you may have seen looks similar. Crap.
You're up to it.
Griffin's down. I need you, buddy. Okay, come on, Griffin. I don't know what knocked him out so freaking easily. And that's how easy it is to get S rank. I wasn't even really trying, and one of my companions was knocked out. It seems like sometimes they go down really easily, and you don't always see what made them go down, you know what I mean? That's one problem I have. That's why I'd like to see this mechanic expanded upon in a later title, you know? I don't know if it will be DMC6. I highly doubt it, although I'd love it. I never saw him resting on V's arm. The bird resting. I've never seen that animation before. That's cool. I like it.
I need you. So.
The bird cusses a lot too, by the way. My mom had a bird that did that. She taught it to answer the phone in kind of vulgar manners. His name was Mitch. A little bit before my time, but she talked about it. And now you see Nightmare. I wanted to save him for the cutscene. Really cool picture of V there. So yeah, also another hint of who V is, his hair turns white. That's his natural hair color. His hair is tattooed because of Nightmare. Nightmare is the tattoo. If that makes any sense. You know, he holds these familiars in tattoos.
Come on.
There we go. See, it's very easy to get a good style rank with him.
Envy your optimism.
And they make it so fun, too. It isn't like they just made V a character that's like a token character. Because he does have the shortest number of missions in Devil May Cry history for a new character. And what that means is overall he has, I think, 4 missions, maybe 5. I think it's 5 in total that are V only. But like I said, at certain parts of the game's story, the story switches up between multiple characters. So you can pick Virgil, Dante, well, I said it right there, screw it. You can pick V, Dante, or Nero at any point of some of these levels. And then some of them are just like Nero and V, and stuff like that. And on my first playthrough, I never played as V in some of those extra missions. It ain't that I didn't like him, it's just I was struggling with Nero, and I wanted to learn to get better with Nero, so I left him alone. But on the PS5 version, I've already went back and replayed those missions as Nero and as V. They're not that different, but at least it actually is a proper different path. Not just the same path over.
Bridge looks unstable.
It is unstable. Very. It's held together by vines, my friend.
It's your turn.
I like the way Griffin just laughs maniacally when he's getting to kill things. I had a lot of fun playing the Bloody Palace as V. It was a lot of fun. One of my most fun runs on it. I didn't have to worry about arms breaking off as Nero, and I didn't have to worry about messing up something as Dante. Although I love playing as Dante, don't get me wrong. Just V is simple. He's simplified a lot. Like, he's got the easiest combat mechanics of any of the characters. Even simpler than Nero was in Devil May Cry 4, in my personal opinion. But it doesn't detract from how good he is.
Allow him to gain any more power.
Oh, how cute. They think they can stop me.
Come on. Fall to hell.
That was easy. A little anticlimactic. I didn't even get to get a good combo going. See what I mean? They die so quickly when you're playing as V. That in the later levels, yes, it does become a little bit of a challenge, especially Mission 13 if you're playing as V. And you don't have no players in the match with you, but it's not really that complicated at any point. Because Nightmare is Nightmare, and Nightmare does a lot of damage. Okay, don't ever forget that Nidhogg hatchling there. You can forget to pick it up, and it'll make you miss a secret. There we go. I love the graffiti. This is like one of the first times I stopped, pulled up a photo mode, and just took pictures because I thought, like, that right there is beautiful to me. And it really fits, like, the style of Devil May Cry. You know, it's kind of like harkening back to the reboot, because the reboot had some good ideas with the way the city was designed and Limbo being around it. And I like how DMC5 took what worked, because the reboot was good in some ways. The combat was really good, but it wasn't perfect. And this game takes what worked and really leaves it in, you know? Oh, poor thing. Who else wants some? Man, these poor things. Whoa! Nice try. There we go, smoking sexy style. Man, I love that Crimson Cloud song too. At first I thought he had the weakest theme, and then I started listening to it a little bit more, and I really got into it. I mean, it's more like emo themed. I think it's even listed as like a emo or industrial sort of music in the wiki. But boy, it's a good emo song if it is one, yeah.
Blood is the source of his strength. I must cut off his supply.
Okay, don't go here yet though, because there's a blue orb up here generally. I've done collected it. Well, one bad thing about his run is because Panther is like, or Shadow, it's Shadow, but I call it Panther, is a living creature. It doesn't stop when he does. It's, you know, it lets him off and then it stops, if that makes any sense. Like it still kind of pushes him along for a second or so, which is a little bit tricky. It's the one thing I don't like. I'd rather him just have run in some ways. It's nice that they gave him a unique item. Yeah, you need this Nidhogg hatchling too. But it still, like, as you saw, it messes me up in certain areas. Okay, we're good. Ow! You hit me, you prick.
Come on. Reap what you sow.
Did I get hit there? Yes, I did, apparently.
To hell.
Anything else? There you are.
Fall to hell.
Okay, I got hit there a couple of times. That messed me up. See, that's another problem with V I have that could be ironed out if another game did it. So let me show you. Just attack. So it's a picture like 4 enemies right in front of you, and you're trying to look for where Panther is. You're trying to manage Griffin's skills. You will end up making a mistake or two because there's so much going on the screen that it becomes a lot harder to see where he's at and stuff, which is my main problem. Just especially, he's smaller than Nero, Virgil, and Dante. Their character frames. He's smaller than Lady's character frame overall. When you look at, like, even with it zoomed out in 4 and stuff, he's smaller than her and Trish. And so it makes it very difficult sometimes to always be able to see where he's at, if that makes any sort of sense.
Rise. Reap what you sow. Pierce through. Into nothingness. Come on. Pierce through. What a nice awakening now. Reap what you sow.
Where are you running to?
Come on. Come on.
There we go. Very simple fighting style overall. Once you learn it a little bit better. There we go. Now we've looped back around. Collect as many red orbs as you possibly can. Because like I said, and as you saw on the menu screen, the skills in this game, I mean, it ain't like they exactly hold them back and make them harder for you to get. Yeah, whenever you see those little like red symbols, know that there's a secret level and look for it. As I was saying, but some of the skills are like 50,000 red orbs and stuff like that, and really expensive. You got to save up a lot of money sometimes, and so that means you got to do. I mean, you get like a 10,000 red orbs at the end of an average mission, something like that, 10 to 12,000 orbs. But it's still one of those things where that's only like one skill, and then once you start getting all the lower price skills, then there's the higher level skills, and then there's a whole nother character you got to play as and stuff. So there's a lot going on. Another thing I will say about this port is, like, I've played 12 different. I got them right here. I've got Watch Dogs Legion, Metro Exodus, Immortals Phoenix Rising, Returnal, the Sackboy game, Demon's Souls, Ratchet and Clank, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Final Fantasy VII, Control, the Spider-Man Miles Morales that came with a remaster, and Devil May Cry 5. And out of all those games I just mentioned, the only ones that I have seen like massive improvements in the remasters or PS5 editions is Control, Final Fantasy, and Spider-Man. And of course, Assassin's Creed gets a 60 FPS mode on PS5. But what I'm getting at when I say that, that's not like something to brag, but as you can see, this game has the ray tracing now. And like when you look in a puddle and stuff, that is cool. But like Control was like one of the first games really like designed with ray tracing in mind. And so when you see it, like there's a lot of glass in the hallways, and the floor is like polished tiles and stuff, and really reflective. This game has only a few puddles and stuff like that. Does it look cool? Yes. But does it look much better than the PC version? No. And that's just one of the things I want to comment on, is if you're wanting like to see like, oh my god, this is a beautiful remaster, or look at how much better the PS5 version looks, you are going to be disappointed on the Devil May Cry 5. It's not much. Like I said, does it look prettier? Yes, but it's not like wow. Like when you compare like Final Fantasy VII, they did they added a lot of lighting details. You look at Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and it comes with the remaster of Spider-Man is fantastic. The ray tracing stuff, it makes you think that they were probably working on that along with Miles Morales, and I would not be surprised. Okay, collect all the red orbs. This one's a little difficult. Mostly because if you don't have the speed, which at the time I didn't have the speed skill, it's a little harder to reach them, but it is doable. Go. That's a good thing about Panther. I'm never going to quit calling him Panther, probably. Okay, calm down. That's what I got Griffin for. I got 10 seconds remaining now. There we go. Yeah, once you get speed, it's a lot easier. That's just a massive clump of red orbs right there. See, once you complete the secret missions, you just get money for them. Which isn't a bad deal, trust me. Like I said, you're always itching for skills in this game. But now, there we go. Another secret mission cleared. But like I said, yes, I do think that the puddles look pretty, but you have to be standing, and I've got to tilt the camera like this to see it, almost. You know what I mean? It ain't like something where, like in Control, like I said, these halls, like right here,
Now, get to work.
you know, was all ray traced, which means you could see it better. That's just, it's a pet peeve. It's not really nothing major to gripe about, but like, if you were to think that you're getting something better for your money, you'd be mistaken, and I just like to point that out to people. Anything else left alive over here? Nope. Very easy. I like how Griffin stays out a little longer than Panther and stuff does, because it just looks like you have a companion, you know what I mean? And I do like that. Alright.
Come on, enjoy the taste of despair. Reap what you sow.
There we go, that's easy. Okay, read from the Book of Poetry. Yeah, that refills your Devil Trigger, like I said, in Heat of Battle. There we go. There we go. See, I love fighting with V. It's really fun because it's almost like a dance in some ways, which fits his character, in my opinion. You have to balance 3 familiars with your positioning. You have to be able to read from the book to keep them powered up, because I haven't even showed you. If you hold down the left trigger, you can access your devil trigger, and you can spend a bit of your devil trigger to power up Griffin and Shadow and make them do extra damage. And so you can be willing, it's a gamble, it's like risking. Nightmare is your highest power, and you'll have to sacrifice some of his time, essentially, to power up the other two, and that's why you have to keep reading from the book and stuff. And it's a really well-balanced and well-thought-out system overall. Like I said, they didn't just come up with this character in 5 minutes and say, yep, I think we're done. They really did think, yep, I want to make a cool character, and they succeeded. I don't know why they thought that he'd be so disliked, though. He's better than... Nero didn't succeed because he wasn't different enough. He was literally looked just like Dante, cocky just like Dante, just without the style switching. V is at least extremely different, you know what I mean? And so it's not like we're being given a cheap knockoff of Dante. We're given a completely different character. I'm pretty sure that that woman is not a safe driver. I'd be afraid to drive with her. But then again, this van is almost undefeatable. I don't get what the Japanese are developing. I mean, I'm from Tennessee, and I can assure you, any mechanic I've never been to does not look like that. I don't get why the Japanese believe that between Cindy, I think was her name in Final Fantasy 15, and Nico, that Southern women look like that and dress like that. Trust me. I've never seen a woman with 2 Western 6-shooters tattooed just below her navel, you know? That's not reality. What a world it would be, but it's not. Okay, skewer. There we go. I can't afford... Should I save up for Domination? Or a Royal Fork? Because I have promotion already. I think I will do that. Because you play as him for like the next 2 missions. The one problem I have with V is I'm not good at the... There's a move called Illegal Move, which is how you do the laser thing. And I'm not good at it, because you gotta press R1 and wiggle the left stick back to forward, or hit forward twice, which is a little difficult. Because you don't hold R1, you like press it and go forward, which I'm just not good with. Time for another boss fight.
Needhog. I never liked this guy.
You catched. I know you.
Dumb as a box of rocks. Let's not even mess with this guy, V. He can't even leave the Clyphod anyway. Just a Clyphod parasite.
You insult me.
Uh-oh.
Stupid bird.
He hurt me. He's angry.
Not in this lifetime.
Not in this lifetime. As the heir to a bird, or the sea to
So
a fish,
too is contempt to the
so
contemptible.
is contempt to the contemptible. May not
Ow, you bastard. I'll get you back for that. I'm still not good at switching targets when I'm locking on. There we go. I never heard that one before. crap, that messed... I didn't know that you could be hit. I thought you had like a moment of invincibility frames when you're executing enemy. Ow! Come on. Ow. There ain't gonna be none left. There we go. Now you gotta come out. And you're down.
The cutworm forgives the plow. What do you say?
I don't understand why they didn't subtitle all those, but I guess why not? Now the first Qliphoth thing is fallen. Gilgamesh. You might remember that as Dante's Gauntlets and Graves from DMC4. That's what it really is.
Well, hey, wait, where are you going? Are you running away? That's not a good sign.
I'm afraid then that's a little bit more than I can take on right now.
And down we go. Maybe try not just starting off by walking away. S rank, sweet. I felt like I might not get one there because I did cock up a little bit. I still don't get why V chose those sandals. I mean, I'm the kind of person, I have very sensitive skin. My father had a leather allergy, and because he worked at car manufacturing plants, he helped build Nissans and Volkswagens. He had to wear like leather, what's it called, steel-toe boots and stuff like that, and he'd come home every night and his feet would just be like, the skin would peel off. He had a real bad allergic reaction to them, and I don't know if he just couldn't find a substitute during that time period or what, but like I have a similar problem. Now, I could not see, just even if there was a risk of something hitting my foot, me wearing sandals, especially with the way I know he doesn't do the fighting himself, but there's enough stuff laying around there that could hurt your foot that I just wouldn't risk it. Also, I've never noticed this before, but if you'll see behind Nico there, her generator says Sparta with a D, tools. I like that reference. You can also find a train that says like Alistair Express or something like that as a reference to the, the Alistair sword from DMC 1. Okay, so I've got Shadow Vigor and Skewer left, and then I've got Double Check 3 and Griffin's Vigor left, and then I've got the Royal Fork, and that's about all I need. You can get stuff like White Orbs with Nightmares active, which would be nice because it would extend your Devil Trigger, but they're not exactly necessary items to get. It's not like something where I'm going to go, yes, this is what I need. And Lady's still asleep in the car, just covered with a blanket. I love the design of these Kane too. It's really just very simple, but it looks so cool. And you can kind of see how it's like kind of chipped right there on the side of it. And I really like the way they designed it. It makes it look used and just like something that was found in the trash almost. You know what I mean? Like it's got a lot of history to it, which I like stuff like that. Attention to detail, like when you put chips and stuff in something when you're designing it, I think that makes it look so much better, because in real life things do get chipped and stuff. You can't always have things look perfect. Ow! That bastard. Like I said, I thought when he air tricks, essentially. Ow. See, sometimes you can get caught on other enemies, which is ridiculous, because I thought air trick kind of gave you, like, invincibility frames sort of things. Which is annoying at times. You will find yourself getting caught on the environment or on other enemies when you go to hit an enemy, which is a pet peeve and another problem of mine. For an introductory character, like I said, a character that is the first of his kind like this, I've never seen combat like this before. I know that another Capcom game, Chaos Legion, had like the idea of
Can't move forward.
creatures fighting for you, but it wasn't like on the same scale as this. Okay, that ain't gonna charge up. Let's just see if that does it. Close enough. I like how he does let Griffin just set on his arm, though. They seem chill, you know. They could have made it so, like, they're constantly arguing, like, mortal, blah, blah, blah. You are not worthy of me, and stuff like that. But I like how they just made him, like, yeah, he's fine with just hanging out. Griffin's got a very lax personality. Which I find really fun. You know, he's the Dante on V's shoulder, essentially. Just mocking the opponents and stuff. Because the most V does is occasionally give a smirk and a cheap shot at a one-liner. Stay away from me. Ow! Block off. There we go. Get out of here. Now we helped out Nero, too. I don't know, it doesn't, like, say that there's another player there, but sometimes, when I played the Gilgamesh boss fight, which you fight as Nero, I noticed that Gilgamesh falls a little bit more, and I guess that means if the player is hitting the legs as V. So I try to always knock him out, just in case. I don't know, and that's the problem with this kind of multiplayer, is I don't know when I'm in the multiplayer, but I do want to help out whenever I can.
Now, get to what I need.
See, now I'm powering them up. So now, as you can see, they got like a purple aura around them, and that is your devil trigger. I like the way he uses like momentum-based attacks and stuff too.
What an ice into nothingness.
Like I said, I really enjoy playing as V. It's a shame that he doesn't have more missions. Although he does have like the boss rush, but because of the way it's designed, it's not like a proper boss rush. Which you'll see it later on in the series. To put it this way, like when I went back and played the story as Virgil, because you know he just does the same as he did in DMC 3 and 4. He doesn't have his own story, he just plays through all of the characters' levels, so Dante, V, and Nero's levels. It felt more like a proper boss rush, because the mechanics of V don't fit in that level, so they just were like, yeah, screw it, we'll make a proper boss rush this time. It's not even a full one, but it's like 3 bosses. Goliath, one that we haven't seen yet, and Artemis. All 3 of them are the ones that you fight as other characters. They're not the ones you fight as V. See what I mean? He just does so much damage in a large area. You okay, brother?
I need more strength.
No, hang in there. You'll be fine. Trust me. I have skinny arms like V, and I get around just fine. Okay. I'm trying to get all the secrets and stuff, or all the extra money. Okay, try not to hit the tree, because you can accidentally hit the tree and then end up losing it. If that makes any sort of sense. Yep, I hit the tree, so just focus on fire on the tree. It's more important to me than anything else. Come on. Yeah, we wasn't able to get the whole thing, but we did get some orbs from it. That's the problem with fighting that leg there, is it almost always activates the tree. Now for the Queen Impuses. They're tough and annoying. That's why I saved my DT. We're going to use the new get rid of everything in my path laser on them.
Eradicate them all. Rise. Yeah.
How do I mount him? I've forgotten. That's one of the things about this game too, it's a little difficult. You forget the muscle memory. Also, if you heard those lyrics right there, he literally says split himself in two. Promotion. L1. There we go.
Now it begins.
Okay, what is a legal move? I forget some of it. Like I said, the way they design it doesn't make it easy. There we go.
Your death shall end your nightmare.
Say goodbye. Crap, the bloody thing moved. Of course she moved. And the laser doesn't affect it. That is some bull ass. She had to jump at that moment. Ow, you hit me. And that's one of the lines that gets V so many fans. Him to the wall as he thrusts his spear violently into the rear end of a giant ant monster. By the way, I've said it before, I'm a severe arachnophobic. And I don't even know exactly if that's the right word. I hate all bugs equally. But the Impuses don't bother me. Maybe because I got like those human faces on them or something. But they're a little less scary to me. That's the first time, by the way, I've ever been able to get the domination laser on like the first or second try, which is really nice. Makes me feel good about myself. I can do it right. I have trouble with that, like Virgil's judgment cut in and stuff like that. It's one of those things where I'm just not good at thrusting the stick in the direction that you're supposed to. And take that however you want. Shoot it. Well, he didn't do nothing. See, that's another problem. Sometimes just getting the basic shot off as Griffin can be difficult because of the way he's designed. Sometimes, just if you accidentally move the stick, he won't do as he wants. He does as he wants when he wants. There we go. Got enough money. I can get another upgrade or two. And I'll take you. Take everything in sight, give nothing back.
It's your turn.
There we go. Get some more money saved up.
Hey, what's in that hole? Can we take a look?
Okay. Which way? This way. Refill our DT gauge.
I guess.
And I've never looked in the sewer. Is there anything like actually? I don't even think you can get. No. It's just there. Come on. There we go. It's hard to get that lightning shot of his off sometimes. Yeah, it literally says all the time in the lyrics, split myself in two. And another red infuser. What? Okay, yeah, that ran out too quickly. I couldn't do the big laser. Oh, he did it for me. Hallelujah. Before he left. Good. That's your ultimate move right there. There we go. Yeah, when Nightmare's out, most of the enemies go, even on the higher difficulties. You don't... Your familiars die quicker, but here's a tip as well. When Nightmare is out, he automatically revives all of your monsters. Go, attack. Do something, you idiots. See what I mean? The combat is just so smooth in this game. And it just pumps you up. The music is designed to do that. The gameplay... One of the things like I hated about the older games is they pushed you to get the high combo, but sometimes it felt extremely difficult due to the high difficulty. Like in Devil May Cry 3, on normal difficulty, you cannot really... You're pushed. It's not so difficult that you can't do it, but you are pushed. On the easy difficulty, you can't do it almost because the enemies die too quickly. So there's almost like no in-between. We got a boss. And then we'll be done here. But as I was saying, and Devil May Cry 4 felt easier overall, but the enemies were designed to more mess you up. You know, like the parasites that messed up your combo and stuff. Therefore, making your life a lot harder. Devil May Cry 5 has that great mix. The enemies die quickly enough that on the normal difficulty, if you're not a fan of overly hard games, you don't have to worry about it. They die without much issue, and you can go about your daily life and not have to worry about them. But at the same time, it's easier to get the combos overall. The music encourages you, because the way it's set up dynamically, to get the higher combos, you want to hear the awesome music. And it's all designed to work together in tandem. It makes a very enjoyable experience.
Ugh, you got it. Wait right there.
I like the way when he's napping, he has his pant there watching his six. That's a cautious man, and one I can understand. I'd be hiding way back if I thought she was coming. Dang! I know that thing says Minotaurus on the front, but dang, it's got the strength of a monster. Not even a scratch on it. The paint job isn't even flaked.
There's no such thing as too prepared.
I'm not convinced this thing isn't a devil arm. Okay, let's see what we got here. Close to getting Royal Fork. I could get Skewer, and then have the last ability for Shadow. I think I'll save up for Royal Fork, honestly. Also, because I think we switch characters in this next mission. It's not really a good idea to buy... Like, if I had known that I'd be playing as V, I wouldn't have even done the color up skill I got for Nero, which is not necessary because that's part of the problem in this game. When you switch characters so often, you lose the muscle memory is one thing because they play so different. And also, if you just bought 50,000 orbs worth of upgrades, you just lost them.
More trouble. Not sure about that.
Grayfin, or whatever his name is, the horse with Quicksilver from 3.
Search for the Devil's Sword, Sparta. You know where it is. He told me to leave it be, but I'm afraid it still concerns me. As long as there is a blood descendant of Sparta, I cannot take any chances.
What about Trish? She carries the Devil Sword Sparta. And she's not,
And destroy it.
of Sparta's bloodline.
With his reign.
That's interesting, come to think of it. And now here's the scene that got every girl to have to stop and take a breath. And a lot of guys, too, seem to really enjoy V. He's just one of those characters that when he came out, the sex appeal level was so high, he got a lot of people turning their heads.
I know what you are. Don't worry. I'll be gentle.
Unfortunately, if he said that in a real-life scenario, he'd be ending up sexually harassment sued out the wazoo.
Enjoy the taste of despair.
Whoa! Mama. There.
Struggle all you want.
There we go. And of course, he's... There, stand still.
Send it right back.
Crap. Again, he turned. Bloody wanker. Whoa.
One thought fills immensely. Just where there's a will, there's a way. Now let's go.
Oh crap. Whoa, mama. Whoa.
Eradicate them all. Pleasure.
There. Come on, this time hit it. Come on, go, go, go. And again. Yes, it hit. There we go. Dang, that did some good damage that time. Yeah, Garyon, that's the name of the horse.
But apparently not quite extinct.
Yeah, apparently it's not the only Garyon in the world. Whoa. Come on, go. Hit it. Come on. See, like you saw, Panther went down, or Shadow, I should say, but he's back because I summoned Nightmare. There we go.
Powers of folly are measured by the clock, but of wisdom, no clock can measure. Die.
And there goes the horse. It's remarkable. The horse was the easy boss fight in 3. It's an even easier boss fight now. Of course, it was outnumbered 2 to 2,
If the
or 4 to
devil's
2, I should say.
exists,
By
it may very well be our only hope.
Think about this for a minute now. What will you do if you find it? You gotta be strong in mind and body to wield the Sparta, and you, sir, are neither. Hate to break it to you, but the Sparta will just be too much for you.
That's interesting.
Yes.
Interesting retcon, I
With
guess.
the boy, Nero.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Trish might be strong of mind and body, But I've always thought she was kind of weak-minded. You know, I mean, she's designed... She's not even like a proper demon. She was created by a demon. So you'd think that would make her kind of nothing up there, almost. Not intended to be anything bad about it, just what I mean. She was designed to look like his mother and lure him in. That's her whole purpose in Devil May Cry 1. And he just left the sword there because he thought she's dead and just wanted his mother and father to be together, pretty much, you know. And then I guess he just let her keep it when she brought it back. And so I don't understand exactly what's so special. Okay, either way, though, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. We're on mission 6 out of 20. We're moving pretty slow. I mean, we're getting like 2 levels done, or 1.5 levels done almost every episode. But so far, I'm really enjoying it, like I said. It's one of those games that I feel like you can go back and play it almost all you want and not feel bored. Also, one of the nice things I forgot to mention is the Void, which I'll show it to you real quick and then we'll go. The Void is like this open space. It's a training area. Because Devil May Cry does not have the same skills as Bayonetta, you know, like the loading screens that you practice. This was their answer to that. Just an open area, and as you can see, now you can see my controller. So you can see how I do the certain skills and stuff. There we go. See, that one's still difficult for me. But that's one of the things that's also unique about Devil May Cry 5. And you can sink a lot of time just practicing. It's like a fighting game's sort of similar thing, like the practice mode. And it really is helpful, and it teaches you a lot. And I just feel like more games need to implement stuff like Bayonetta and Devil May Cry 5 did. In some ways, I think Bayonetta still has it better there because the loading screens, while they don't take forever, they are a thing. And so it's better to be able to rehearse for a second, but I do like the idea of just having a solid area where you can go test out your skills, you know what I mean? It really is a cool idea. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. Thank you so much for all of your support, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your evening.